When you just started managing this theatre, did you realize that it would be so difficult from many perspectives, from the personal point of view, the administrative one, and could you expect this job to be this difficult? Well, of course, it's not easy because I deal with many people and I needed to bring these people together. And now, in this case, we had two groups coming together, or even three, because there used to be the Moscow District Art Center, and I became the manager of that one. And here there would be two theaters, the Chamber Theater on the small stage and the Ostrovsky Drama Theater on the big stage. So the District Drama Theater. So I had to work with these three different groups of people and I had to unite them into one. And of course it was complicated because here you have to deal with people who have certain established relationships among each other, who have conflicts. And there were actors who liked doing their job and the ones who didn't like doing their job but still did it. And I believe that people who are engaged in the theater production, they need to love it. And this was my criterion for bringing these people together. They needed to love the theater. You know that there are many colleagues of yours that would manage theaters and would have major conflicts at their job. How did you manage to avoid this conflict? Because you were a new person to this theater and you started rebuilding everything. Well, in this case, nothing of the kind could happen because I am a theater person and I really love it. My favorite is the classical repertoire, so I did not start to change anything radically so that it would be unrecognizable. So that, for instance, it would include many experiments that do not really attract the spectators. I don't think we should talk about experiments here, it's more about the people. Because there are certain actors, for instance, or just people in general, who do not stay in the correspondent position. Of course, there would be people of many kinds. For instance, there are actors who are still trying to defend themselves in court, but the theater doesn't need them because they are completely incompetent professionally. I believe that people should do something that they know how to do so that they have a profession, because otherwise it's immoral to receive the money from the government if you do not have the right competencies. Yes, I believe that the labor code sometimes forces you to hire a person who is completely incompetent. And they will win in court. And here I don't know how to deal with it. I would love to be protected by the government because I do not understand why we need to hire a person who is completely professionally incompetent and will receive this payment. Yes, it's a common problem for many managers. There is indeed this dead weight of the theatre group that is a common problem for the theatres in general. Then I have another question for you. What if you were offered now to take this position? Would you take this decision this eagerly again? Yes, of course, and I make this decision every year. I know that my contract will last for 4 years, but if it's prolonged, I will agree to stay here for 4 years more. And what if it's not prolonged, or you are offered a job at the Federal Theatre? Well, I will certainly find some job. I have no doubts about that. I love this theatre because I was here when it was just starting out. It's not that I would like to boast here, because I really don't like this feature in different people and in myself. But this is true, and there are many witnesses to this process and to your role in this process. Yes, but it's still unpleasant to boast. The thing is that when you create something on your own and it's very dear to you, you really love it, you really treasure it. And then it's important to you to develop this, to put your efforts into it. Could you please talk about the exclusive project of your theatre? Unfortunately, it's exclusive for now, but maybe you will clarify the situation. Unfortunately, in our country, not enough attention is paid to people with reduced capabilities. Unfortunately, very often it is hard for the blind people to see, literally, to see the play, to see a ballet or listen to an opera or even get into the cinema, because they are not offered a special equipment You remember we worked on the project which was called The Real Fairy Tale, and you suggested that we offer the service of audio commenting. Probably we need to clarify what it is. Yes, could you talk about it? Please do that, because it was your idea entirely. So you should clarify this. I will be very brief. Audio commenting is a special service offered to the blind or to people who suffer from partial blindness. So Sergei made this decision to implement the service in the Moscow theater. And he gave this absolutely wonderful gift to the people. It was not a top-to-bottom initiative. It was an idea that he accepted in the theater on his own. And recently, the performance called Pushkin was attended by 27 blind people. It is difficult for now because these people do not have a habit of going to the theater, and it's hard to convince them that now it's possible, although it had never existed in Russia. And for them, it's a unique opportunity. This is why they were very thankful, and they thanked us for this opportunity because they could get this live energy. They would hear everything that was happening on stage without being distracted from it. So, in fact, these blind people who cannot see saw a play. On your website, there is a speech where an absolutely wonderful story is told, that you were taken out from the hospital when you were just born with a black eye. What has happened? Well, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I fought. Well, did you fight as a child? No, frankly speaking, no. What about later? No, never. Only when I was shooting a movie. But yes, those scenes are absolutely marvelous.